Shalom, shalom, chavrim. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You guys are watching Israeli News Live. I know I am late coming on here. Nothing on the screen in the background. But hey, we have been working here today and for on a very special broadcast. Spent what was supposed to be a 30-minute interview, ended up being 2 hours. And we're going to be doing some editing on that, a very special broadcast. About the USS Liberty, the sinking of the USS Liberty. And, you know, I think you guys are going to really enjoy this interview. We interviewed Dave Gahary, who is the author of the Erasing the Liberty, as the name of the book that he wrote. And Dave has really done his research, and some of the information that is out there about the USS Liberty is just not really true. But there is some very serious issues that need to be addressed, especially for the sake of the survivors and also the families. That there were 34 people killed on the USS Liberty during this attack. Israel has said it was mistaken identity. Very interesting article that came out last year on the Haaretz about this as well. But even some of that information is not exactly true. So I want to share with you, because what's interesting to me, and we really go into this, is the connections of the deep state, you might have it, on both sides, elites in both circles, both the Israeli government as well as the U.S. government that were behind this. And it's not that, some people believe that it was sunk in order to be able to draw the U.S. into the war. But the evidence is not there to support that. There was a different reason for this altogether. And I think you're going to find it very interesting when we share that interview with you. It's one of those things that we have wanted to get to the bottom of the story to really find out what the facts are. It's a situation similar to that of the Altalena, when the Altalena was sunk by Moshe Sharit Ben-Gurion and Yitzhak Rabin, who were willing to sink and kill Jews in order to keep them from taking Jerusalem. Well, there's a very interesting possibility of what the sinking of the attempted sinking of the USS Liberty was to start with. So I want to really thank Dave for sharing that information. He has interviewed the survivors, knows them personally, and very interesting. Also, let me just quickly kind of give you some updates of things that are going on. I am looking in behind me here at my other computer here. Murad Gazdiev tweeting out a couple of things on here. One, date and location of the Trump-Putin meeting to be revealed tomorrow. John Bolton is in Moscow. He was having a closed-door meeting with Foreign Minister Lavrov. I am really curious about that, because John Bolton, he's a guy that always talking about war, and more war. Is there a possibility that the U.S. is really trying to work with Russia, or is it going to be one of these things like, ultimatums being passed around? Speaking of which, too, I did see earlier today, and I'm going to get into this tomorrow, there is Israel has released information saying that the North Koreans are actively still pursuing their nuclear program. Whether or not that's really true or not is, I don't really know, because sometimes I wonder if some of these things are not just being made up. I also was looking here at Ali Ozkak. His maybe pronouncing his name wrong, but he released about 5 hours ago a video. The Germans involved in one of their ships are involved in the NATO drills. Something went terribly wrong. It looked like a missile was trying to leave the ship there and ignited their entire deck into a ball of flames there. Troubling situation there, no doubt, for the Germans there, and hopefully that they will all end up being okay. I hate to see anyone get hurt, especially during drills, stuff like that. At this point here, though, we are still, looking at other things, watching Syria closely and to see what is going on. The U.S. Army is purchasing a Trophy active defense system for $193 million. The Trophy has been installed on Israel's Merkava tanks since 2009 and has also been installed on the IDF's Namor heavy infantry fighting vehicles. And but we're really watching close because the Syrian government has steadily been retaking their land near the Jordanian border. This is something that I'm watching. They say here also, the Al Monitor is saying the Syria ceasefire deal unravels as Trump and Putin prepare to meet. So it may be that they are trying to come to a consensus there inside of Syria, maybe an agreement, but I'm still, though, what's really interesting, I got to say something to you guys that I'm seeing and backing the Free Syrian Army and Al-Qaeda, al-Nusra. Well, they've said you're on your own. But then Israel, though, takes out a couple of targets at the Damascus airport the other day, saying that it was arms shipments to Hezbollah. It's one of the reasons why they say they targeted it. And I have wondered, though, if, even though the U.S. says that they're not going to do anything, if they're going to use, instead, they're going to allow Israel to be the one to escalate the war to where then the U.S. can say, oh, wow, we got to help Israel. We're going to get back involved in this. And then they're going to finally end up taking out Damascus. I still think that this is something that's on the table. I hate to say that. I would love to see that this war is coming to a conclusion and they can get some peace there. Can you imagine what it's like to live under a constant war? I mean, children, this war has been going on 7 years. You've got children. Let's say that when the war started, they were 5 years old, something like that. They're teenagers now. Or children that are being born into a war-torn country. From the time they're born, they grow up. I mean, Ariella is 9 years old now. Imagine that if she'd had to grow up in Syria and her whole life has been spent in a war since the time she was 2 years old. This is unthinkable, guys. It's unthinkable. And, quite frankly, I personally believe if we had stayed out of this and not supported the different terrorists that are fighting there, this would have been over a long time ago. I know there's a lot of people that have different opinions on that. And I know that we want to think that we are supporting democracy around the world, or who else would have ended up taking control of it. I don't know. But the thing is it was under Obama's administration that this all got kicked off. And for what? All the evidence that we've seen, we saw the evidence with, Hillary Clinton sending in this Benghazi issue. In fact, I saw the movie they had about Benghazi, and I couldn't help but think when I'm watching this that where they have the soldiers that fought so bravely to protect the CIA assets there, and yet also trying to rescue the ambassador that was murdered there. These soldiers they need to, they deserve the credit for what they were doing to try to save American lives. But unfortunately, the part in the movie they don't show is the fact that the CIA was helping to smuggle sarin gas with Hillary Clinton's help there to get that sarin gas into the hands of the ISIS militants through Prime Minister, at that time, Prime Minister Erdogan, to use on the civilian population, including the children of Syria, to justify that war there inside of Syria. Very sinister plot under the Obama administration. And, yeah, I do thank God Hillary didn't get in, because believe me, it'd be a heck of a lot worse than what we have now. I know sometimes I go on a rant with Donald Trump, because I really expected more from him when he became president. But things are seeming to head more and more straight towards a new world order. And that's what troubles me, guys. This is what I'm concerned about, is a new world order. This is what I've been, sometimes people say, Steve, you've changed. No, go back and look at the videos. I have been trying to expose Israel's elite leaders such as Shimon Peres and even Netanyahu and their involvement in trying to sell out Israel to the Vatican and bringing about a new world order and making Jerusalem the headquarters for a new world order. I've been doing this for years now. The only thing that's different is that I kind of hope that Netanyahu was not fully that way. I was hoping that Prime Minister Netanyahu would not be a full sellout, but more and more it's too obvious. It's too obvious of what's going on. And, and we watch the evangelical leaders that support, I say leaders, the wealthy of the evangelicals. It's the only thing that makes them a leader is the fact that they have the multi-million-dollar ministry, as if you remember, and I was exposing this for a long time as well, the Vatican with Tony Palmer. Tony Palmer saying to the Pope of Rome, these are the big fish. They have their mega ministries with their jet planes, private jets, and all of that. Guys, you got to remember, you think these people are going to, these multi-millionaire ministries are going to lose what they have and stand for the truth and really tell you what's true? No, it's the easy way. It's the easy way. That's the way they're going to go. So it's very troubling indeed to me, very troubling. And I'm watching all this happen. To me, I'm looking for Israel to recognize who the Messiah is. And it's definitely not going to come through the Vatican. And what's really going on? I mean, we see all these prophecies, guys. I've shared with you prophecy after prophecy after prophecy being fulfilled. And then I'm watching President Trump's own spiritual advisors leading him right straight into the hands of the Vatican. I will say one thing. When I saw that statement the other day about the 5G and the one person sending out their tweet trying to get President Trump's attention, don't sign it, President Trump. This will only kill your family. That's an honest person right there. I really appreciated that, because they're giving President Trump the benefit of the doubt. But the thing is they don't want him to do something that would harm him. I don't want to see anybody harmed, not even these evangelical leaders. I would love to see everybody have their eyes open and recognize what's going on. But I guess the reality of it is we know that they won't. I know sometimes you guys write me and say, well, Brother Steve, you can't change anything. It's all going to happen regardless. Well, but we still have to be a voice for truth. That's what we're trying to do. Anyway, we're going to share this interview tomorrow. I've got a lot of work to do to edit it. I've got to take Yana to the doctor in the morning, though she does need one of her vitamin C infusions. So it actually will be late tomorrow evening, probably, before I can get this up and going because of the time frame. We have to leave out early in the morning. Anyway, shalom, shalom. I love you guys. Y'all have a great night. I don't even know what time it is. Ooh, gosh, it is late. I got to get up early. So blessings to you all. Thank you for praying for Yana. Thank you, our moderators. Again, apologize for not being able to get here with you guys tonight with the news there. I was thinking of just loading what we were doing, but we'll get that up tomorrow. Blessings to you all. Erev Tov.